Hello, my 3D printer peeps. Hello, Bambu Lab users. Hello, Death Racers. Hello, Prusa. Hello, Infinity Flow 3D. And hello, Bambu Lab. And hello, Slice Engineering. I'm sitting here with a Bambu Lab P1 series printer. And on top of this printer is the long-awaited Slice Engineering MAKO Hot End. The MAKO Hot End is targeting the higher end printer that is working with more abrasive and harder filaments such as carbon fiber. Perhaps you have a project that requires stronger material such as carbon fiber. Perhaps you're not interested in working with upgrades like this and dealing with these difficult materials. Perhaps you need a professional to handle this for you and take the stress out of your shop and into theirs. Perhaps you need today's sponsor, PCBWay.
Known for being the best in PCB fabrication, PCBWay also specializes in 3D printing. They can handle all your projects from resin to FDM, including all the usual materials: nylon, PLA, ABS, PETG, TPU, PC, ASA, even metal materials such as aluminum, stainless steel, titanium, and more. Thank you, PCBWay, for helping keep the lights on at 3D Rundown.
The MAKO is compatible with 3 different types of nozzle, including diamondback nozzles. One of the benefits of this hot end is the nozzle is changeable with a single tool without having to remove the hot end. Let's pop over to the MAKO website for a closer look at the 3 types of nozzles you can use with this hot end.
Okay, so here we are on Slice Engineering. That's the website. And we're looking at the MAKO Hot End, boasting 60% faster speeds. I never worry about speed. I only care about quality and success. However, I am super happy with my Panda Revo and the E3D nozzle. Everything I do on that hot end is faster. However, I am typically printing PLA on that hot end, and this hot end with its harder nozzle will let me hopefully have that kind of performance with higher end materials. You can choose the type of hot end you need: X1C, X1E, P1P, or P1S. I am working on the P1P/P1S version. There are 3 different nozzle types: the Gamma Master, the CHT, and the Diamondback. I was sent the Gamma Master. Here in the description, we can learn more about those nozzles. All 3 of their nozzles use their new fin nozzle standard. If you're not familiar with that, this is what it looks like. In short, the goal of this standard is for multiple manufacturers to make a nozzle that is the same size, compatible with standards of their competitors' nozzles, and uses the same tool for installation and removal. FIN stands for Free and Open Sourced Insulated Nozzle Standard. At the moment, we've got CHT, Diamondback, and Slice Engineering's Gamma Master. CHT is a brand name for the high flow internal geometry patented by Bondtech. E3D licensed the CHT technology from Bondtech to use in their Revo nozzles. I've had tremendous success with the Revo nozzle on my P1S with the Panda Revo. This hot end gives us another opportunity to use that technology. The one I'm showing today is the Gamma Master. Let's check it out. Experience the strength of abrasion-resistant nozzles, ideal for printing with carbon and glass fiber filaments while also handling flexibles, which of course would be TPU. CHT. Maximizing flow rate by splitting incoming filament into 3 strands, blah, 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 blah. So CHT focuses on being faster. Here's a peek at what that looks like. Diamondback. I have a whole bunch of Diamondback stuff here. Diamondback nozzles are insane. Delivers unmatched durability and precision with a solid diamond tip, capable of printing any filament without wear or nozzle changes. Keep in mind, printing on a solid diamond tip comes at a cost. Let's have a look at that cost. I am demonstrating the Gamma Master. This is $124.99. Moving up to CHT gets us to $128.99, and Diamondback a whopping $224.99. So you are paying a serious premium for that diamond back. You can see here, they're going to change it with a simple tool. And it's nice to see companies bringing this to Bambu, where Bambu somewhat dropped the ball, going in a different direction, bringing us much more difficult nozzle changes than was probably necessary. Here is a look at this fin standard nozzle.
Inside the box, you'll find the complete hot end. This hot end does include a fan pre-installed, and it also includes the thermistor and heater, both also pre-installed. It does come as well with a silicone boot that's pre-installed as well. The whole thing is ready to go right out of the box. Underneath that silicone boot, you'll see the Slice Engineering nozzle. Unlike Bambu Lab nozzles, this nozzle is removable. This nozzle can be unscrewed and then replaced by screwing in a new one. Also in the packaging is Slice Engineering's plastic repellent paint. This is a brush-on paint that you brush onto your nozzle, and it repels filament from sticking to it. You will also find a package with 2 retaining clips. We will not be using them. When removing the cover, be careful. There is a cable. You will need to take this cable off. You will now remove the other 2 as well. Next, you will remove this screw and this screw. With those screws off, go ahead and wiggle the hot end down and carefully remove the cables from the little clip holding them in place. With the wires off that clip, go ahead and remove the hot end. We will now replace that with the MAKO. Slide the MAKO up and secure it with the same 2 screws. Once you've secured these 2 screws, go ahead and connect the hot end and the thermistor. I find the tool head clip somewhat cumbersome to work with, and it's easier to connect without using it. If you feel you are risking the health of your wires or the stability of your connection trying to get the wires under that clip, go ahead and forget that part. Don't forget to clip the fan on and then magnet your tool head cover. It's time for a test print. Let's pop over to Bambu Studio.
If you scroll down, you will find Slice Engineering's custom material profiles. They're right here in the download section. Click into custom material profiles and it will download a whole bunch of JSON files. You'll see here ABS, PETG, and PLA. Your MAKO will come with a 0.4 nozzle, so unless you have something else, import the 0.4 profile that most closely matches your material. What you just saw is what the zip file used to look like. After speaking with Slice Engineering, they went ahead and added P1P, X1E, and X1C JSON files. Previously, there was only P1S. Kudos to Slice Engineering for the quick turnaround on this update. Let's go ahead and import that JSON file here in Bambu Studio. You will simply go to File, Import, Import Configs. Click on the file that matches what you're doing. Mine is MAKO PETG High Flow, Bambu Lab, and you'll notice it now says P1P. Here in the filament listing, scroll down and you will see MAKO PETG High Flow P1P. Let's go ahead and get this set up. At some points in this tutorial, you may see my printer switch to P1S. If you have a P1P or a P1S, use the appropriate file and do the same thing within the P1P or P1S printer profile. While working with many of these materials is better in the enclosed P1S, I will be working with a P1P due to my printer availability. Let's adjust this filament profile a little bit by comparing it to Bambu's carbon fiber profile. I'm using PETG carbon fiber. I will check this box and press confirm. That filament will now appear here in my list. Bambu PETG carbon fiber. Here you will see a max volumetric flow of 11.5 and nozzle temps starting at 255 for the initial layer and 255 for other layers. They also want a bed temp of 70. Let's have a look at the MAKO profile. This profile has lower temps of 230 to 245. When it comes to filament, I don't tend to believe the manufacturer recommendations, but when it comes to a high-profile company such as Bambu, I tend to believe them a little bit more. So I am going to up this to 245. This is a reasonable compromise between MAKO's profile and Bambu's profile. Keep in mind, MAKO's is for PETG, Bambu's is for PETG carbon fiber. MAKO's volumetric speed limit is an insane 29 compared to Bambu's basic PETG of 11. However, Bambu Lab does also have PETG high flow. You will find it here in the list, and their max is 23. I'm going to again pick a compromise and go 25. Bambu's PETG high flow still has a temp of 255, so we are 10 degrees less still. It might be worth bumping up to 250. A little bit of experimenting, and you should be able to zero in on your own. Depending on the brand you are working with and other slicer settings, these numbers could vary a little bit. With our temp and flow settings set up, let's pop into cooling. There are differences between the MAKO PETG profile and the Bambu PETG profile. Let's compare them. Here are the MAKO cooling settings. Minimum fan speed threshold 20, 20. Maximum fan speed threshold 40, 10. Bambu's minimum fan speed threshold 5, 30. Maximum fan speed threshold 46. These are some pretty significant differences. As you can see, MAKO is looking for a much higher minimum fan speed than Bambu. Bambu wants a minimum of 5. MAKO is asking for a minimum of 20. I'm going to drop this a little bit to split the difference and come closer to the center point between MAKO and Bambu. Layer time for Bambu, 30. Layer time for MAKO, 20. I'm going to split that again to 25. Max fan, 40 and 10 for MAKO, 40 and 6 for Bambu. I'll go ahead and split that again, somewhere in between with 8. Everything else is the same. One more thing to look at, Slice Engineering instructs us to reduce the retraction distance to 0.6. Retraction is usually set in the printer. However, we can do a setting override here in the filament. Click into Setting Override and you'll see their JSON file did it for you by checking the length box and adding 0.6. Scroll down here and make sure long retraction when cut is unchecked. If it is checked, uncheck it. Let's go ahead and save this file. I named mine MAKO PETG blah 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 / compromise. Press OK. Let's click on the bed, click on Add Primitive, and click on Bambu Cube. Press the Slice button and send it off to your printer. Mine will be a P1P, running Bambu PETG carbon fiber off the spool holder. Of course, we'll do a time lapse and I don't need bed leveling.
My filament will be Bambu Lab PETG carbon fiber. My color will be indigo blue. For this test print, I'm going to use the external spool, and I'm using an Infinity Flow 3D auto filament changer. This is the S1 model. In order to create a better view for the time-lapse camera without seeing all kinds of junk beyond the printer, I'm simply going to place a piece of foam core board right here on the side of the printer. This keeps the camera from seeing beyond the P1P. This also blocks the P1P from drafts, so there's a $1 trick that might be useful to you. And now we'll switch over to time-lapse. And would you look at that? A beautiful blue PETG carbon fiber bamboo test cube.
This cube came out really nice, especially for a first print on the hot end with no real testing or calibrating whatsoever.
If you haven't noticed, this hot end is a little bit more complex than working with the stock hot end and basic filaments such as PLA. However, doing things properly, you can get clean, successful prints with super strong filaments such as PETG carbon fiber quite easily. I'm Greg Adventure, and you're on 3D Rundown.